Brian's got this all under control, don't he?
Welcome to the Midnight Madness Show. I am Mark, the DJ Doctor. We want to thank you all for tuning in again on another nice Tuesday evening here in Manchester, Tennessee. We're going to introduce, as usual, our cast of characters, and then we're going to let Jason see. And again, how this is another one that Jason brought to us. We'll let Jason introduce our artist, our musical guest for the night. But again, I am Mark, the DJ Doctor. To my extreme left tonight, and we're going to kind of reverse order. The Princess Diva, Rebecca, if you're listening, is unable to make it tonight. We hope everything's going well for her. But she's not here tonight.
That makes me the best looking thing at the table.
Mm-hmm. And we got video to show that that's probably not, but that's all right. But to my left, we got James, the Lyric Man. How you doing, James?
I'm doing pretty good, Mark. I got to tell you real quick, I had an interesting weekend. My friend Daryl invited me and some other friends out to his house for dinner. And we go out there and they have fried chicken.
All right.
Barbecue chicken.
Ooh, like that.
Roasted chicken.
Okay.
I mean, just any way you could cook chicken. There was chicken everywhere. And, of course, nobody said anything. We thought, well, maybe he just wanted to cook a lot of chicken. So we eat, and after that, we're all out in the backyard sitting on the back porch, and this chicken runs out around kind of drunk and just falls over dead. And my buddy Daryl goes, good grief, these things are dying faster than we can eat them.
Oh, Mark.
Cindy, I apologize yet in front of the show. I'm going to tell you this is what you're facing.
Is that not good?
Let's get the musical guest to do one song before we run them out of the house. Jason, the Hillbilly Heartthrob, can you top that one? The joke of the week. Oh, man. There for a minute, I actually thought he had something for real he was going to talk about.
I thought he was going to do
We knew better than that.
Or something, you know?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Some chicken picking.
No.
No. So how was your weekend, Jason?
Absolutely wonderful.
What'd you do? Anything exciting?
I went and watched James perform. That wasn't exciting.
That's not very exciting, though.
Yeah, we went and saw James play.
Yeah.
It was a lot nicer this year, element-wise, than last year. It was cold.
I will tell you real quick. We were prepared. Me and Dave had practiced a lot, and Dave was going to put all his lead in there. But when we got up on the stage, the guy who's running the sound says, all right, look, now I don't know how to do anything about the monitors. So I'm going to trust that you guys are professional enough to keep going, but I'll have it sounding good out here. So I don't know how it sounded. Trish said that it sounded okay. But up there, it was messing us up. All the songs we had rehearsed and practiced and stuff, I finally turned around halfway through one song and said, sorry about this, Dave. I'm making this crap up right now because I can't hear anything. He goes, I was wondering because he's following me. And I'm not playing. I'm making up all these songs, you know. This is ridiculous.
Sound men will either make you or break you. And we'll talk about Brian here in a minute. But, hey, across the table.
Yep.
Yeah, he does a great job. We always brag on him.
I
Otherwise,
do a great job messing up. I know that.
he
Yeah,
would just
thank you.
shut us off if not. Across, we got our...
He did that last week.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, you get a raise. I'll double your pay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And across from me, we have Larry Z in the house. Uncle Larry, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, Mark. How are you doing
Not
today?
bad. We're glad to have you on board back on the table again. So
Well, thank you.
You'll probably be over here full time in just a few short weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. The
The Hillbilly Heartthrob is
leaving us.
leaving to heading to the northern area.
Yes, but
Yeah,
I'll
they-
still be around.
They
Just
told
so-
him to either pay
you
the
can't
rent
get
or
rid of
move.
me yet.
Yeah. Well, we're trying.
Think of me as that favorite hemorrhoid.
We got I got a couple of rubber bands for you. But we got a special treat coming up for you. We just can't figure out the date and time to do it yet. But we got something coming up for you.
For me.
Yeah.
I thought we were throwing a
Don't
big party
close your
today.
eyes when you go to sleep at night.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I thought we were saving that party till after he leaves.
No, that's our special treat.
my bad. My bad.
Sorry. And then, last but not least, over there on the board that cuts my mic off whenever he wants to, is Brian, the IT guru. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing all right.
Yesterday, I got a text message from Brian. Goes, hey, man, play some really good stuff. People here at work are listening. So I went ahead and I loaded up the radio station with all the big hitters, right off the bat. So that was a lot of fun.
So you got all of my songs in the rotation.
All I did was the best of Jason Adams, the Hillbilly Heartthrob stuff.
That's why they tuned out. I was trying to
Hours
figure out
and
why they come back with that look on their face.
Production
like,
went down
I
100%.
saw our listener count just keep dropping and dropping. I said, well, they must just be taking breaks and going on lunch or something.
Yeah,
that's
what it
all.
was.
That's all
what it was. Okay. Yeah.
But, well, let's get to the best part of the show, the musical guest. I'm going to have Jason introduce this young lady. Jason, you're up.
I am.
Next, yeah.
Oh,
Go
okay.
ahead and
Well,
tell us a little bit who we got tonight.
We have an extra special guest tonight.
So far, so good.
Wow, you're on a roll.
I am.
He's done this
We have an
before.
extra special
Can you
guest.
tell?
It's extra special.
Most of our people are just special. You're extra special.
At least she's not short but special like James.
Okay. Oh, my.
Miss Cindi Torres, or formerly known as Cindi Limbaugh?
Limbaugh.
Any relation to Rush?
Yes.
Really?
Really?
I knew I liked you.
We'll get into that here in a little bit. That's some good questioning there.
Yes.
So, Miss Cindi, we're glad to have you on board with us tonight.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
We're going to get you to play a song real quick and then buckle up and hold on because then we're going to start grilling you questions apparently about the Limbaugh name. It's going to be coming up. So why
scary.
don't you go ahead and hit us with a song. We'll holler at you in a minute.
This song is called I'll Be the Rain. Why didn't you just put a knife to my chest instead of walking out like a sudden storm? I was never warned. What is this all about? You say you don't love me anymore. You say there's nothing I can do. You may not come back to me again, but this'll come back to you. I'll be the rain falling when you're walking down a lonely stretch of road. I'll be the rain that wraps its arms around you, drowns you like a sinking stone. There's one thing I know, you reap what you sow, and boy, however it grows, I'll be the rain. I'll be the rain. You may not see truth like I do, but watch out anyway. You can't be cruel, forget the rules, and think you'll never pay. My heart will heal with every tear, but your time is gonna come. With every clap of thunder, you'll never wonder where this is coming from. I'll be the rain falling when you're walking down a lonely stretch of road. I'll be the rain that wraps its arms around you, drowns you like a sinking stone. There's one thing I know, you reap what you sow. Boy, however it grows, I'll be the rain. I'll be the rain. I've got peace, peace, peace now that you're going. I got peace, peace, peace just to know, hey, yeah, 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 I'll be the rain. I'll be the rain. I'll be the rain falling when you're walking down a lonely stretch of road. I'll be the rain that wraps its arms around you, drowns you like a sinking stone. There's one thing I know, you reap what you sow, and boy, however it grows, I'll be the rain. I'll be the rain. I'll be the rain, rain, rain. I'll be the rain.
Very nice.
Great song. Great song.
So, let's get to find out a little bit more about Cindi. Where are you from originally?
Well, I'm from Pontiac, Michigan.
Ooh, another northerner. All right. Matter of fact, I think that's the majority of the people here tonight. So, yeah. So you understand what
I'm
real
all
snow is
alone
all
here.
about?
Of course, but the people down here don't even have a clue.
No, they don't.
Not even a.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And I'm picking the wrong time of year to move back.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got your timetable straight
Jason,
up. You need to go back
anytime you
in the
can move
spring.
back is a good time.
Yeah. Thanks, James.
So how long you been down here from Pontiac?
I moved in '88, so I'm nearly native.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's cool. So did you move down for the music, or did you move down because of job transfer and then got into the music, or?
I moved down here for the music, but I transferred with my job.
Okay, so it
I
was a
worked for
two-for-one.
the U.S. Postal Service
Okay.
in Detroit. And
Ooh, I bet that was tough.
We can't make any jokes about her because she was liable to go postal.
She does have a firearm.
Did y'all check that case for guns?
Yeah, yeah.
you don't want former postal employees carrying,
Right. I understand.
Yeah.
I really think it's cool that Pontiac, Michigan, they'll name their town after a car.
Wow.
What are they going to do now that Pontiac is defunct?
I don't know. I guess they can change their name to Bankrupt.
Name the town to bankrupt?
So it's D.C. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyways,
So, yeah, let's not get into the
how
government
did you get into
jokes.
songwriting? That's what I want to know.
Well, I've been doing music a long time, and I was in college, a music major, classical, and but I didn't really have the chops for that operatic stuff. I did what they call early music, Renaissance and earlier than that. And a friend introduced me to the guitar. I always played keyboard and always had to play what was written. And if it wasn't written, you couldn't play it.
Right.
So that was really kind of confining, And a friend taught me 3 chords on a guitar. It was freedom to have just whatever came into my mind.
What 3 chords were they? I bet I know them.
I still use them
Probably the
regularly.
same 3 chords we use.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If it's on this side of the table, it's G, D, and C. They got those
There
three
it
down.
is. Yeah.
There you are.
That's my chords.
Yeah.
So Kentucky Fried Chicken was having a songwriting contest, and I decided to enter
Yes.
that contest.
Yeah.
Did you ever enter that one?
I'm not a songwriter, but a
Okay.
friend of mine won it 2 years in a row.
Wow.
Jeff Cohen. He won it, I can't think of the years, 85 and 86, something like that, right around that time,
Wow.
early mid-'80s. He won it 2 years in a row. I worked for KFC at the time.
Oh, wow.
And then when my friend won it, I actually got my picture made with him and the local media. But I can't remember the 2 artists that did his song, but he had a song done by 2 artists.
Mark, is that when you started hanging around musicians all the time?
Yeah, that's when I became a drummer. I get it. Bada bing, you're all week, try the veal.
Well, I didn't win, but I'm not going to hold that against you.
Okay. I didn't do the voting.
You should have had friends in the business,
That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, that was pretty cool. So that was what year you did the KFC thing?
Let's see. Sometime in the early 80s. I'm not exactly sure, but
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. You might have been around there at the same time Jeff was in there, so
Yeah.
that's been pretty cool. So not a lot of people know about that KFC thing.
I know.
So when you mentioned that, I'm like, wow, there
Small
might
world.
be 4 people on the planet remember that. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
But it was that bug, that
Mm-hmm.
songwriting. First song that I ever wrote when I in there didn't. No wonder I didn't win, but that love of just the. Oh, it's cool to write. I mean,
Right.
And it's something that I never worked on it. I wrote 1 song in my life. That's why I became a drummer. It's just bad. So when I go around to Nashville and these guys and the people that come in here and they do their songs, I find that just amazing talent to have. And I wish I could say, but I don't have the desire to sit down and have to think of lyrics and poems. I have a bad enough thing as being a business guy. As you try to figure out how to market stuff and advertise, those lines and phrases, you got to make it sound just
Oh,
right.
yeah.
And I look at my wife and I go, so what's a good word for that? And so I'm not a songwriter. I have a hard time just writing scripts. So I admire you people that do that for a living. It's really cool. So you started songwriting at an earlier age. Did you have musical family that kind of got you into it? Mom, dad, brother, sister, or?
well, my mom always liked to sing. My dad liked talk radio, so he wasn't much of a musician, but my mom really loved music. She encouraged us to take lessons, and she, got us instruments. Okay. So that,
Did you sing in school? The school choirs or church choirs and stuff?
Church.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, and recess at Alcott Elementary, Motown all the way. I was Diana Ross.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. So did you get a chance to go over to Detroit and see all the cool blues and Motown stuff? Did you have a chance, or did you move?
No. My family was from the South,
Okay.
so that wasn't real music to them. You know, that we had
Porter Wagner. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Johnny
yeah.
Cash.
Yeah, I'm from Wisconsin, and so when Hee Haw would come on, I had family members go, "Hey, the Grand Ole Opry's on." When it's not the Grand Ole Opry, it's Hee Haw. Even though a lot of people were on the Opry, but to them, the Opry and Hee Haw was one and the same. But up there, it's classic rock and roll, the Beatles and the Doors and Led Zeppelin and all that. So my family were all huge in the country. So I kind of got away from country, couldn't stand it. But the old country I like. I mean, we're talking Furlan Husky and Hank Snow and, the classic oldies. But I play down here with these guys, and like Jason goes, "Oh, let's do this song and let's do an old Merle tune." I'm going, okay. How's it go? If it's not, Silver Wings or Okie or something, I'm not really sure how it goes. But, up there, it's huge country up there in Wisconsin. They still think it's the Grand Ole Opry, no matter what station it's on. The Porter Wagner Show is the Grand Ole Opry. So
let me ask you this: you moved down here in '88, transferred your job, and you came from music. Was it country music that you came? I mean,
Yes.
What made you? I guess how did that bug bite you? I guess.
Well, because I listened to a lot of rock, but there was this. Some in the rock, there were like the Eagles, there was Linda Ronstadt,
Right.
people who were really, and Emmylou Harris, really had a country bent to them. And that really caught my ear,
Right.
Because especially women singers in country music, if they're if they're very old, they had that kind of nasally, twangy thing. I just couldn't do that. I mean, even though Northerners are supposed to be twangy and are nasally, as far as singing, I couldn't do that. So when I heard like Linda Ronstadt and Emmylou Harris sing that country songs, I was like, oh, now that I could get into that.
Did you hear that? I read it in a magazine. Linda Ronstadt cannot sing anymore.
Yeah,
That's a sad thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, because that was such a great. She had the voice.
Oh,
she's in my
yes.
top 3 female singers
Oh
of
yes,
all time.
Yeah.
by all means.
I think it's kind of funny on the music how it evolved. Now you're talking about the old country people like Loretta Lynn and that type, and Crystal Gale, and going back. But Linda Ronstadt, when I was growing up, we considered her basically rock and a little bit of she'd do some folk stuff.
I had her all over that. She was
because she
bluesy.
did so many different. She wasn't like a set style.
Yeah.
Right.
She did. She had a great range. That's why.
Yeah,
That
Emmylou
voice.
Harris basically the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And stuff, and
She's more
really
of that
great
Americana
female.
side.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, now it's
Before there was Americana.
right. Back then, way back when I was growing up, it was known as folk music and stuff, and then it went into
Then they invented the drum.
that's true. Yeah.
See what I go through here, Cindy. I get the drummer jokes all
That
the
was
time.
a joke about age.
Well, good. So is country music then like the dominant music in your life? You were singing gospel a little bit ago. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of taken over? Is that more of an influence, or?
There was a period of about 10 years that I pretty much did bluegrass gospel. And
Bluegrass gospel.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm an extreme person,
I was going to say, yeah, that combined, yeah.
and I really enjoyed that. And I love country music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear a lot of country music on the radio
It's not.
anymore.
It's not there.
It's not.
And it's about time for it. In the late '80s, when Randy Travis came out and Alan Jackson and Garth Brooks and some of these guys, it took a swing back toward tradition, and then it's gotten away from it. It's time. Any time now, we need to take another swing.
That's what
back
I'm
toward
here for.
tradition. Maybe not that far back. Maybe not turn all the way around and go back, but just a swing back.
Yeah.
And I thought it was coming along when Jamie Johnson came out with his stuff because he's very traditional, and I thought, okay, here it's coming, and then. It's just like right now.
Then Red Solo Cup came out.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that. You have like the Florida Georgia line, that group right there, and all these. Let's sing about Daisy Dukes. Let's use every cliche in every song and just have an upbeat and thing, and have some rap artist do a verse in it, and that's a country hit. Now that's not country, When Kid Rock starts being at all the shows, I have issues. I like Kid Rock, but he's not country, and I don't think he should be up for country awards. And you know what I'm saying. That's where
Yeah.
it's changed. Keep it separate,
Yeah.
Kid Rock, another Michiganer, you know, up there.
That's
so.
why I said I like Kid Rock. I'm not trying to bash all the Michigan people, just Jason.
Just
appreciate
Jason. So you like Kid Rock and Cindi Limbaugh. That's
You say pro rock's adjacent?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Well, let's get Cindi back into another song real quick. Why don't you...
Wait a second. One more question.
All right.
Yes.
When you first came to Nashville to be a songwriter, what was the first thing you did as a song? You know, to do it. I mean, where'd you go?
The Bluebird.
The Bluebird? Because that was back when it was still young.
The Bluebird.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. What was it like then?
Not nearly as crowded, more accessible than it is now.
And now it's basically a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
But
And that's where I met Garth. So that it was a connector place. I don't know that it is anymore.
no, it's not.
And the last time they graded me, I didn't get a good grade, and so I haven't gone back. You know, I'm a little, I know how to hold a grudge.
So that's where you met Garth before he was Garth?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Was he going by Garth then or Troy L?
Garth.
yeah, we'll get into that a little bit too. But when they graded you bad, don't you just want to go back there and just take that CD that you're on for Garth Brooks and go, yeah, I'll take that bad grade anytime.
Heck yeah.
Royalties keep on coming. So yeah, that's cool. What song you got coming up next? Yeah.
This is called A Cold Place to Be, and this one, I really like this song. This is an older song. And
Has it got a story behind it?
it's a
No.
cold place to be. Well, you know, the time, the last one that I sang and this one, they were like 10, 11 years old, maybe 12. And at the time, like, they were like, you can't sing that. Women can't sing. You might as well put a knife in my chest. That's too harsh. And then, you know, later on, Earl and gasoline and, you know,
Right.
and kerosene, it's changed. And apparently a knife in the chest ain't much. You know I'm better than a weatherman. Fact is I'm seldom wrong. Today I forecast there's a winter wind blowing in when you get home. I feel the chill when you pull in the drive. I start to shiver as you walk inside. 'Cause there's no fire in your eyes. There's no warmth in your touch. A burning need is dying, and that's what's killing me. You make hell a cold place to be. We don't argue here and we don't fight, and it's getting colder by degrees. Sparks don't fly in a house of ice. Tears don't fall, no, they just freeze. We're dying embers lying side by side. Do you remember when we lit the night? But there's no fire in your eyes. There's no warmth in your touch. A burning need is dying, and that's what's killing me. You make hell a cold place to be. Heaven was a touch away not so long ago. If I could only let that river flow. But there's no fire in your eyes. There's no warmth in your touch. A burning need is dying, and that's what's killing me. You make hell a cold place to be. Oh, baby, you make hell a cold place to be.
I like that line.
Very nice.
So, again, you don't have to give away trade secrets, but when you sit down to do a song, do you, like that song there, did it just come to you, or do you sit down going, I'm going to write a song about love, ache, or heart, or pain? How do you get your inspiration for songs?
Well, I think I had the hook, or at least the idea of hell and cold. You know, I think that was the concept. And I wrote this with Alan Morrell. And you have to forgive me for forgetting to say that I've written songs with people. And if they're very old, I might not even remember at all. The song, not the people. So I just took that idea to him, and we started writing it, and it just developed. And, you know, I always like the images because, you know, it is hellish to be in a relationship where it's just cold, you know.
That's cool.
Good
I
song.
always find that interesting where they come up with their inspirations.
So, on the subject of inspirations, how are you related to Rush Limbaugh? I mean, let's go ahead and get that out of the way.
Nice segue there, James.
That's right.
Well, my family's from Missouri, southeast Missouri, and he's from Gerardo. We're cousins.
Okay.
And we go to the Limbaugh family reunion. And we're not on speaking terms, you know. But when you see my family...
I think there's a lot of people that don't talk to Rush anymore.
That's true.
I understand that a lot.
But I have to say, you know, Limbaugh's, they're very identifiable. He looks like he belongs to us. And can you imagine a room full of Rush Limbaugh's?
It's really loud, huh?
It's loud.
Right about now would probably be a good thing.
You think there's
All
got to be
getting the
some
last
preachers
word
in
in.
your family, too.
No, they didn't
No
go that
preachers?
far. No.
They all went the wrong way.
I went the wrong way.
Well, we're going to pray for y'all.
James from the line of preachers in his family, so
Okay.
he has the gift of gab also.
And Baptist preachers, that means at family reunions we take up offerings. We have to.
They tell jokes at funerals. You
Now
know?
that's true. That my wife, when we first started dating, I had a relative pass away, so I had to stop by the funeral home. So she came with me, and she'd never been to a Bell family, you know, funeral. And we go in, you can hear laughing and all that stuff, and we're sitting in the room, and the power goes off. And when the power goes off, the jokes start. We're like, hey, let's roll the casket out. And when the lights come on, she's gone or whatever, you know. And my uncle, who was preaching the funeral, he sits down and goes, well, I know your uncle was trying to save money, but this was getting ridiculous. And things like that. And then my wife says, hey, when the lights come on, we should all yell surprise. And we're like, oh, you're going to fit in this family. It's so good. Yeah. And when we left, she's like, you know, that's the most fun I've ever had at a funeral before. I'm like, hey, welcome to the family. We'll try to schedule one next week, you know. Because my dad being a preacher, we didn't go fishing on the weekends or stuff because Dad always had a funeral to preach, you know. So that's why nothing's sacred. Funny's funny.
Funny is funny. Well, let's back up to the Bluebird a little bit. You said you met Garth at the Bluebird.
Yes.
How long ago was this?
It was 87, I believe, because I hadn't moved here. I just came on vacation. I put my transfer in, and then my family said, you know, it might be a good idea to go visit that place and see if you want to go there. So I came on vacation. He was there singing. He had just moved to town, and he didn't have an address here yet. And, of course, I didn't even live here. But he invited me to I don't even know where the other place was because I just followed him. My sister and my friend Kim and I just followed him to this other place where he was singing. And since he told me he was from Yukon, Oklahoma, but he didn't have a location. But he said, I like what you do, and maybe we could get together and write. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't live here, but, you know, I'm going to be here. So then I transferred not long after that. And I worked at the post office, right? And so I'm usually a letter sorting machine operator, which is automatic, they come through. But if you get things with tapes or anything bulky, it has to go hand case. So I was on the hand case, and there's a letter with a cassette tape in it, and it's coming from Yukon, Oklahoma, and it's going to Garth Brooks. And I promise you, it is the only time I ever got anything in my hand with somebody that I know of.
I'm gonna jot that address down right there. Hey, how about that?
Well, you could still find him with 411, whatever information is at that point in time. And so I called. I knew where he lived and called him. I said, I don't know if you remember me, but he did. And he was always really, really nice man.
That's what you hear about him. You never hear that he was, you hear some of these stars, well, when you get to know them, they're kind of jerks on them, but you never hear bad stuff about him, really.
I've out of all the people in the music business, that would be the one person I'd be starstruck over.
I could see that.
Yeah.
He wouldn't let you be.
Probably not.
He's just really...
He's the one person I've always wanted to meet my entire life. Well, since
After me?
Yes, after you, James. The first time I heard Much Too Young, I hadn't heard nothing else. I went out and bought the album. And then as soon as No Fences came out, I had to go buy that one, Rope in the Wind, and just all down the line. The only artist I own everything he's ever put out, including the Chris Gaines album.
Wow, you're dedicated.
Yes.
That's like me and Van Halen with the last guy I'm not even going to pronounce his name, but the last guy they had as the lead singer. But I didn't get that one, so I'm not as dedicated as you are.
I even got the tribute album to Kiss. I won't say the title of the album.
Right.
Hard Luck Woman, but
That's a good. That was a great version of that too.
it was. It really was. Just I can't imagine what it'd be like to actually sit down and write with him.
Speaking of Garth Brooks, I've heard some other songwriters up in Nashville with the Bluebird. They'll talk about when Garth came along and he got a record deal, and they were trying to put him writing with other people, and they would say, hey, it was Kerry Kirk Phillips was the one that was telling the story. He's like, people said, hey, you want to write with this guy? He's going to be the next big thing. And he said, and I looked at this guy in the room, and I'm like, he's not the next big thing. So I'm not wasting my time writing with this guy. He said, there was a lot of us that did that. He said, and then, of course, he blows up. He's Garth Brooks, and we're like, man, I wish I could get that writing session back now. Now he's too busy and too big.
So you made the contact.
Yep.
And then did you get together immediately after that, or?
Pretty quickly after that, he was that was when he was working at the boot store and he was cleaning the church. I mean, this was...
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Can you imagine, Garth?
That's really cool that you knew him right at that time.
That's the way cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A friend just sent me Barbara Cloyd, who handles the writer's night at the Bluebird. On her wall, she's got a page from that night where Garth is listed, and my name is on there too, and she's got it framed. So my friend took a picture of it and sent it to me, so I got that now.
That's
Very
way cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So then you make a date to go write? Is that how this all came about, or?
Yes, and he asked, what do you got? Songs, and so I had this song, Lonesome Dove, that I had started.
So you started that?
Mm-hmm. It was something I brought with me from Michigan. And I had read the book, and if anyone's read the book, it was really impacting. I love that book.
The bad thing about it is I saw the movie first, and Robert Duvall's portrayal of that is the best cowboy character I've ever seen, and it was my favorite. So when I'm reading the book, I remember I went to Waffle House, and I was eating some food, but I'm reading the book, and I got this part where he's talking. Well, I can see it because I saw the movie, and Robert Duvall talks with hands. I didn't realize. I look up and people are laughing at me because I'm sitting there reading this book, but I'm talking with my hands because I was like, oh, sorry.
It happens a lot at the Waffle House, though.
Yes, I'm sure that was the most.
Usually they're on.
That was the weirdest thing they'd seen in ever.
Oh, yeah. So you brought this little snippet of Lonesome Dove with you, and you showed or performed it for him, and he kind of went, I like it, and kind of co-wrote with you on that. Is that what it was? Or?
Oh, well, he was so ecstatic. He just got on his knees and begged to let him write that with me. Oh, no.
I thought you were serious.
Did you see that? We all for a second hesitated, like, I don't know if this is a joke or not. We don't want to laugh at her in case she goes, no, seriously, he did.
So he liked that, and so we worked on that, and it came out, and it was supposed to be on the second album, And you know how that goes. You know, a lot of
We
things.
don't know. We're still
all of us
struggling.
know
Okay.
how that goes.
They're still looking for the first.
Yeah.
And the No Fences came out, which was the second album, and it didn't make that. And I was like, well, you know, that's life. And one thing that Garth was always so good at was names. He remembered names. Like, I mean, I have to have cue cards and repeat it to myself many times, but he just instantly knew names.
She keeps trying to forget me.
Me too.
So he was in the Pancake Pantry, and a friend of mine, who he knew her by name, he said, have Cindi call me. This was when the third album was coming out. And so I called up to the publishing company, and he said, it wasn't actually him, but somebody there told me that it was on the third album. And that's how I found out. It was already pressed and everything.
Isn't that cool?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So how did you feel the first time you heard it on the radio?
Oh, it's an incredible feeling to hear.
Pretty
Yeah.
good Christmas present, ain't it?
Yeah. All the other holidays. Yeah.
Did you like point at the radio and go, I wrote that. That's me. I wrote that. You know, and people are going, it's
Did you
Garth
get the
Brooks.
CD and go home and just go like door to door? Everybody, see this? This is a song I wrote
See my name
on
see
this
my
album.
name?
See who the album is?
As a matter of fact, isn't her name first?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, her
Yeah.
name was first on there.
Yeah.
That's
Because
pretty
she brought the idea in and he
Yeah.
begged to write with her. So
Yeah,
it's like
cool.
you put your name
Got on
first.
his knees for
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
Well,
neat.
great. Are you able to do that song, or
Yes, I can do that song.
if you don't mind, or did you want to wait to the end of the night to do that? Whatever you
No,
want
I
to
can do that.
All right.
It's a long song, and the tail end of it is what we originally wrote. And on the album, they shortened it because you guys probably know if it goes over a certain time, the pay scale is different. So they shortened it so they wouldn't have to pay more money. She was a girl on a wagon train, heading west across the plains. The train got lost in a summer storm. Couldn't go on, couldn't go home. Then she saw him riding through the rain. He took charge of the wagons and he saved the train. She looked down and her heart was gone. The train went west, but she stayed on. Lonesome dove, lonesome dove. A farmer's daughter with a gentle hand, a blooming rose in a bed of sand. She loved a man who wore a star, Texas Ranger known near and far. So they got married and they had a child. But times were tough and the West was wild. It was no surprise the day she learned her Texas man would not return to Lonesome Dove, Lonesome Dove. Back to back with a Rio Grande, a Christian woman in a devil's land. She learned the language and she learned to fight, but she never learned how to beat the lonely nights. And Lonesome Dove, Lonesome Dove. She watched her boy grow to a man. He had an angel's heart and the devil's hand. He wore a star for all to see, Texas lawman legacy. One day word blew into town. It seems the man who shot his father down had
robbed a bank in Jericho. Only thing between them and Mexico was Lonesome Dove. Lonesome Dove. Shadows stretched across the land. The shots rang out across the Rio Grande. When the smoke had finally cleared the street, the men lay at the ranger's feet. Legend tells to this very day of shots that were coming from an alleyway. No one says who held the gun. There ain't no doubt if you ask someone. From Lonesome Dove, Lonesome Dove. Back to back with a Rio Grande, a Christian woman in a devil's land. She learned the language and she learned to fight, but she never learned how to beat the lonely nights. And Lonesome Dove, Lonesome Dove, she's a lonesome dove.
That's pretty. Pretty.
I actually knew every word.
And you didn't even cheat and look in
No.
the CD?
I was looking at it. I was watching. Making sure she got all the words right. That's a great song. That's my favorite kind of song to listen to, the story ones like that.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
that beats the heck out of Achy Breaky Heart to me.
Put that in the category of like Townes Van Zandt
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Guy
that-
Clark, and
And that's a good category to be in. So that's a great song.
great song.
Thank you very much. I do have a couple of Garth stories.
Let's hear 'em.
Oh,
Let's
we
hear 'em.
love to hear those.
I guess we've got time for a couple.
This is my favorite Garth story. And my family, I had a gig at the Bluebird, and then Garth and I had already written this song, and he may have had his deal, but it was in the early stages. And I asked him if he'd come and sing that song with me, and so I had 2 van loads of people coming from Michigan, and they all get into the Bluebird, and they're taking pictures, and they got me in the middle and half of Garth. Yeah, they're still mad about that.
So you're one of the few people that can say, yeah, I had to Garth. I let him come on stage and sing a song with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice of
I was
you.
trying to help him out, you know.
You know, oddly enough, when I first moved to Nashville, the first person that I actually met from music was James Garver, who of course played guitar for Garth. Oddly enough, that's where he met Garth, was a Bluebird as well. So that's cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did y'all hang
networker.
out together?
No. Oh, I would have liked to.
So have you had any other luck with other songwriters like that you've got stuff or up and coming?
Yeah, did you make anybody else famous?
Yeah. That's a good way to put
Yeah,
that.
that was my big shot, but you know. No, but you know, I'm really open to. Well, I'll tell you, I'll have to be really honest, and I have no filter, so just
Okay.
forgive me. When you get a cut in Nashville, everybody wants to write with you. When you've got something going, they want to be in the boat with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that the big difference between the North and the South, and this was a hard lesson for me to learn because I grew up in the North, but my family was from the South, so I didn't think I'd really have that much of a...
I'm with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, niceness is a cultural expectation. And it doesn't mean that they're your friends. Now, in Michigan, if they're nice to you, they're your friend.
Exactly.
So that was a big learning curve for me. And
Yes.
I had a lot of people who wanted to be my friend after the Garth Brooks cut. And I realized they weren't my friends. They just wanted to get in the boat with me.
Right.
So I made a really deliberate and apparently career shortening choice. But I only write with people that I really, truly like as people.
Right.
And I've learned, I didn't have there was a lot of lack in my skill as a writer. And I learned a lot from Garth, and I've just been working at it. I've just really tried to become a good writer, and I feel like I can learn to write with anybody. And if I like you, that's the most important thing. We're gonna write something that we like.
Now,
Well,
Cindy,
that's-
remember, I'm from the north, so I've been nice to you so far.
Yes, you have.
Well, see, I had
James from the South, so watch
I had
him.
some good advice from a guy named David Lee. He wrote Letters from Home and a few other ones. And I asked him, do you have any advice? He goes, well, the thing is, when you go to co-write with people, he says, don't write with somebody because you think that they've got the connection you need. Write with somebody because you think that you can write a good song. You know, and I've turned down trying to write with other people, some people, because I'm like, no, because I think that would be the only reason I'd be writing with them, because you can kind of tell if you're going to hit it off, if you're going to be able to write a certain kind
Is
of music.
that why you turned down writing with me?
No, I have standards, Jason. I just have standards. But that was good.
No, actually, we have written together now.
Yes, we've
About
written.
3 songs so far.
Yeah.
We'll have
So
a
do
lot.
And more to come.
Yes.
Do you stay in contact at all with Garth? Do you every now and then email or anything come across?
Well, I used to have his number pretty regularly, but as happens, you change numbers.
Right.
So I've been out of the loop for a while,
Okay.
and I haven't figured out how to get back in the loop. If you're listening, Garth, call me.
Well, see,
Yeah.
hey, when he comes out of retirement, he's going to need you again to help him, like you did before. Could,
Yeah,
just
I got
career.
the
could
I
you
got
help me
it
get
for
on
you, Garth.
stage again? You know?
Cindy, if you want to write a new hit, I'll write with you. We can invite Garth along.
I just want to back
to
up
me.
just a minute from what Cindy said. Garth, if you're listening, call me.
Yeah,
I
just
think
let
that's
us know
cool.
you're listening.
Yeah, let us know you're on the air with us tonight. Yeah, you never know. I mean, we do get some strange stuff. I think it's funny. Our fam jam, we were going to have, what was it, Merle Haggard? Was the possibility of
Coming to see us.
coming and seeing Merle Haggard. Seriously, is this a joke?
He said, look, if you make it through December.
Yeah, if you're still there, I might be around. And then I think it was kind of funny. I can't tell. Well, I have to. Every now and then, just as a joke, we talk about famous people, and and Donna Fargo. We were talking about Donna, and we were singing her song one day here at the store, and of course I can't sing, so I was doing it really bad.
Show us.
No, I can't. I won't do that.
But he's the happiest girl in the whole USA.
I am the happiest girl in the whole USA. So
He's
it's
got
like,
the hair to prove it.
Yes, exactly. It's like 2 weeks later after we were talking about Donna Fargo, I get a Facebook request as a friend from Donna Fargo.
Wow.
I went, there's no way this is the real Donna Fargo. And it is. It's the real Donna Fargo. So Donna Fargo and I, we're good friends on Facebook.
You're like this right here.
Yeah, we're tight. I Facebook her messages, and she ignores them like everyone else on Facebook. But no, I just thought it was kind of funny. She's Facebook like Ronnie Stoneman.
Yeah.
I haven't yet to meet Ronnie Stoneman, and you got to work that out. We got to meet Ronnie
I'm trying to work
Stoneman.
that out for you.
But all I know is her political views. I just think she's right on. I just want to hear them coming out of her mouth, because just what you read and how you can interpret what they say.
The worst thing is
She's hilarious.
we can't edit on
Right.
the fly.
Now, Brian's going to have to get ourselves some new equipment where we can do that 6 or 12-second delay.
He can just learn to start when he thinks they're about to say something bad. Just go, beep.
Yeah.
We have a 7-second delay, but it's just
Do we really?
not
No,
right
that's
now,
just how
but
slow
we
he
got
is
that
right now.
capability. Yeah, I mean, I'm that slow.
Oh, he is.
That's how long it takes him to catch it. Oh, she said a bad word.
Oh no! Oh,
I think Ronnie and Tommy Barnes would be a good one to have on the show
Can you put
together.
Ronnie
Tommy
and Tommy
Barnes
in,
would be
in a
great.
room together? They're the one and the same. They're like twin brothers and sisters, the way they think.
So this is awesome for me because you're telling them about being at the Bluebird back when the Bluebird was the cool place, when it was the place everybody went to. Who else? I mean, you were there at the time when, before there was groups like Brooks and Dunn, before they were ever heard of, when Garth was trying to make it, when Alan Jackson was just a newcomer. I mean, this was a good time to be at the Bluebird and
Yeah,
to be
it
in
was.
Nashville at that time. It really
it was
was.
a good time to be in Nashville because the writing there was opportunities for writing, and it was when I came from Michigan, I was like the only person I knew who actually wrote songs there, and to get here and just be surrounded, because you feel like a little like a fish out of water, and to be here with all these incredible writers. It can be intimidating, but it's also an exciting place to be.
Well, that's also how you learn, too.
Absolutely.
And that's what we tell our students here. We teach a lot of students, and we tell them, you got to learn from a lot of different people, but you got to look at that one guy that stands out in that same field that you're in, if you're a guitar player or drummer or whatever, and don't be intimidated by him. Learn from that, because the only way you're going to get better is by challenging yourself to try to get like that person. Be better than you were yesterday. And so many people want to hang with people that are like, well, I don't want to play with so-and-so because they're better than I am. That's going to make me, look stupid. You can't. You got to hang out with the big dogs, and that's how you grow with those.
That's true. I like, playing like at the smokehouse and stuff. I like it when they put me in with some people that we had to play with Vanessa Hill that one night and another lady, and they were out of our league. But I like it because it makes me have to up my, let me make sure, I got to make sure I deliver this song exactly right.
I like it when you guys play at the smokehouse, too, because I go over to the buffet to get some good food and some pickles.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jim Oliver's Smokehouse. They got good food up there. So
Great food.
They play music, and I go like, yeah, I've heard these guys before. I'm going to go back and get me some home fried chicken and some pickles. They got some of the best sweet pickles
You just
around.
like the different sauces.
No, the sauces.
Yes, you do.
Have you ever been to Jim Oliver's Smokehouse?
Yes, I have.
Have you looked at their sauce list?
It's quite impressive.
Did you look at the names of what they've got?
You can't say any of those.
I can't say any of that on the Family Music Center radio. And the first time I was up there, James was playing, and his wife hands me the sauce list.
My wife wasn't playing.
No, your wife wasn't playing, but you were going to play. But your wife was there, and she goes, oh, here's their sauces, and she hands it to me. Now, I barely know Trish at the time. I mean, I see her, but I haven't really talked to her, so I don't know her personality. She hands me the sauce list, so I'm reading it. Well, without my glasses, I can't read too good, so I put my glasses on, going, what? And I start reading the names of the sauces. I go, surely this is a joke. And I look at Trish, she's over there smiling. Well, yeah, she got me. It's a funny joke. No, it's for real. I went like, could you not have come up with a better idea for the names of your sauces?
They're unforgettable.
They're unforgettable.
That's right.
But I can't say them on the air. But go up to Jim Oliver's. Great place, good music, a lot of fun. Travis Bolin hangs out there every Friday and Saturday night. If you like good blues, I believe Travis is in the studio cutting a CD with Bobby East and them, I believe. Yep. So we're looking forward to get that. So Travis, if you're listening tonight, make sure you get that CD done. Get it to us right away. We'd like to get that on the air. So.
Before you play another song, I want to hear some more stories about, because you had to meet all kinds of people that.
Well, yeah. In the early '90s is when country music exploded. Shut up! I'm talking.
Wow.
That's when the country music exploded
boys,
again.
boys.
And here I was in high school, and I couldn't be in the middle of it yet.
Anyways.
Well, I do have another Garth story, and he'd already had his first deal, so he's out on the road a lot, and I just was not one of those people. I'm not a really pushy person,
right?
And so I would leave messages, and I didn't get any response. I guess I'm just leaving him at the office. Well, I write him this letter, and I said, it would make me feel better if you would call me. That's all I wrote. Well, I get a call from him on the road, and he said, are you sick? And I'm like, no. He said, well, you said you'd feel better if I called. I'm like, oh.
Hey, send him another one. I would feel better if he'd call me.
But I always liked that. I mean, that's the kind of person he was. If he thought that I was sick and wanted him to call.
Well, see, I've heard, I have a cousin that went to one of it, like when he played Murphy Center in Murfreesboro years ago, and he happened to be in Nashville one day, my cousin did, and in some restaurant, and there was Garth Brooks there, and so he said, I just want to meet him, So I walked over and I said, hey, I saw you play at Murphy Center, and I just want to tell you I really like your music. I enjoyed the show, and shook his hand. And Garth was like, well, hey, sit down here. What did you like about the show? And he kept, and he's like, well, I'm not, he's with his family, so I didn't want to butt in, but he said he made me sit down and asked me, now, what, can I do this better? Or, asking somebody, just a fan. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Always nice guy.
Because we all, as songwriters, and you're probably the same way, anytime somebody wants to say they like your music, you're really, appreciative of it, because I'm the same way. Like, oh, you like it? What is it you like about it, Tell me more,
I like the fact that we haven't heard too much of it.
Wow.
I'll be
probably
handling the jokes here.
Probably a question to answer, but how many songs do you think you have written in your lifetime so far? Is it uncountable, or is
we want an exact number?
Within 5 or 7.
Probably over 200.
Okay.
And, there's a lot that I've forgotten. I mean,
Right.
I don't even remember them. And I'm a little bit of a pack rat, so I keep all my old contracts. And I had a lot of single song contracts even before I moved here. And I'm like, oh, that's a good title. I have no idea what the song was, but that's a good title, So
That's cool.
Yeah, you just don't remember them all.
Well, see, from 15, 20 years ago, all the songs I had then, that's the only good thing I might have out of it. It was like, well, that's a good title. That song sucks. Let me rewrite this thing.
So is there a song that you've written that you absolutely went, ooh, that's a bad song, but like your family and friends just love it? They want you to play it every single time they see you.
Yes, that's
Hey,
a good
Cindy, can you
question.
play that one song? And you're going, oh, I don't want to play this one again. It's terrible.
Because we want to request it.
He will. But we get that where songwriters go, man, I got this song. I wrote it as a dare, and I can't stand it. And everybody
She's
wants
got
to
one
play
I
it.
can tell right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, and I can't even do it anymore. And what I mostly remember, it was called Big Hips. And in the chorus, it said it was about somebody who eats out a lot, and it was called Big Hips. And one of the lines in the chorus was, "Oh, what the hell? It's another Taco Bell." Yeah, my family loved that one.
we want to thank Taco Bell for listening tonight.
What is if everybody, what is your favorite song right now that you've written?
Oh goodness.
Other than Lonesome Dove.
Yeah, other than that.
I've got one called Joan and the Whale. I like that one a lot. And I'm realizing, because as you've already probably noticed, my songs tend to be a little somber. But I think I write out my angst,
Right.
because I don't feel that stuff. It's like it's on the pages and it's not in me. And so I write out my concerns and my sadness, and I get it out. But Joan and the Whale was one that I really liked. I thought that was kind of an interesting spin.
Well, you came down here for country music, but you got into bluegrass gospel. How'd that happen?
Well, the name of the group was Jordan's Angels.
Okay.
And we had a friend named Jack Jordan who we used to get together just and play and sing at his house or somebody's house, and a potluck and a music thing. And Jack developed leukemia, but he just loved the music, and he played our harmonica. And during that process, when he was sick, we would just get together, and the music, music is a gift from God, and it would really soothe him, and just being with people just soothed him. And so when he died at the funeral home, we just got together and we just played in the corner of the room, and people would come and sing with us. And after the funeral, we're like, we're gonna keep this together. We're gonna go out and we're gonna see if we can bless people. And so that's how it started. I played stand-up bass, and Mindy played guitar, and she did lead. I did harmony, and then Beth did auto harp. And so we started out going to nursing homes and bluegrass festivals.
Cool.
And ended up getting nominated for Bluegrass Gospel Album of the Year. We didn't win. We didn't win that one either.
But just the fact that you were nominated is just way cool.
Yes.
It's really amazing, because the only promotion for it was what I did. There was just something really, it's called The Best Is Yet to Come. And it was a lot about, this is not the end all to be all, this life.
Right.
And so it was a lot of that focus. And I think that resonates with people, because, life is hard. And just knowing that whatever you're facing, there's something better coming.
Now, did you write all the songs on that album, or did you co-write? And did you do the music too?
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah, I co-wrote some of them, wrote by myself a lot, which was kind of a unique experience for me, because I had been, the Nashville thing is you got to co-write.
Right.
So I kind of got away from that a little bit and wrote some things by myself, and it just was a nice time. We did a couple of standards. We did Someday. I don't know if you know that. I'm trying to remember the bluegrass group who did it, but it's a great song.
Yeah, again, the bluegrass thing, until I came down here, Wisconsin, not a big bluegrass state. Then I moved to Indianapolis for 21 years. Again, not a big bluegrass state, even though we had Little Nashville and they had the big bluegrass festivals there once a year. And me being in the music business, I always got hounded by people coming in, you need to promote this, need to promote that. And we did, but I worked so much in the store, I never could get to go down there. So I'd have these big giant posters and banners of all these top bluegrass bands in the world going to be down here, and I knew none of them, unless it's Flats and Scruggs or someone like that. You know, I know none of them. Then I come down here, and we got the banjo player, the teacher that works here, wins. He always comes in second place by like a point or less to the national banjo champion.
Wow.
And he, like today, he was in there going, well, I'm going to do Alabama this song, and I got to do the Crimson this one, and I got to do this song, and he names off all these bluegrass songs. I'm going, I know none of them.
Bluegrass is one of those things, though. If you're like, for you coming down here, you can probably appreciate it more if you're sitting there watching it being played, because
Right.
to see how fast these guys are going and to see the musicianship that's in it,
It's
you have a whole
amazing
new
talent.
appreciation.
Yeah.
When if you're just listening to it on the radio or something, it's hard to. You're like, man, they're really going, really fast or
Well,
something.
on the radio, I'm listening to it, and I'm going, unless it's, a couple of the standards that I do know, dueling banjos, that's a standard, I guess, or Foggy Mountain Breakdown or something like that. They all tend to sound kind of the same to me. I just I hear the first banjo lick, and I just go, bluegrass, and they're all the same. And then when we came down here, and we had, what was Joey's band's name? Not Unwound. It's Unwound now, but Redline. Yeah, when we had Redline on here, and they were on that stage there, and they started doing Three Wooden Crosses, and they started doing Train 45 and all these things here, and we're going, oh my.
Yeah.
These boys, and I mean, they're flat out tearing it up. You would think friction causes heat. Their instruments should be on fire.
Right.
So I have a new fondness toward bluegrass, but I'm getting that like that with some of the country standards. You start naming them off, I go, sure, sounds good to me. Play it again.
So can you play the Jonah and the Whale song?
Yeah. I can
Because
do that.
while you're getting ready, I heard a story about a guy that got swallowed by a whale. And he got out, and they asked him how he survived. They said, what did you do? He said, I just ran as far as I could till went in until I was pooped out.
Can we mute James' mic for the rest of the night? Can we just go ahead and mute that right now? Because now this song she's going to do, I just have bad feelings.
I don't know.
Again, I apologize at the beginning of the show, but I'm going to apologize again. I'm sorry, Cindy, that you had to hear that. Why don't you go ahead and
She's
uplift
going
us
to tell
with
that
this
later
song.
on.
Yeah.
I'm going to borrow that.
I stole
No,
it,
you
too.
won't. No, she won't. She's
Yes,
going to go.
She'll be telling that.
She's going to black that out. All righty.
My love is deep and wide, rolls like an ocean tide. Did you feel a little like a raft that capsized? I know I'm one big mess, doomed to cause you stress. I swear I don't know how to be less. We were Jonah and the whale. One was content, the other in jail. No happy ending, no fairy tale. Not for Jonah and the whale. We've reached the great plateau. It's time to let you go and let you pull away from the undertow. Were you drowning all along from a force that was too strong, till you finally reached the point of your swan song? We were Jonah and the whale. One was content, the other in jail. No happy ending, no fairy tale. Not for Jonah and the whale. Sometimes love's not enough, no matter how much you want it to be. Sometimes love is tough when you gotta set the thing you love free. We were Jonah and the whale. One was content, the other in jail. No happy ending, no fairy tale. Not for Jonah and the whale.
Very nice.
Very nice song.
You got a great voice. I like your voice.
Thank you. And I did want to say that a minute ago about being intimidated. When I came to town, I mean, your waiters and everybody you run into, they're either a songwriter, vocalist,
Right.
or both. And I was really intimidated, and I never felt like I was good enough to sing. And Jordan's Angels kind of opened that door for me. I love to sing. And, you know, I'm not the most versatile singer, but I don't care. I love to do it. I'm going to do it. So I'm encouraging anybody who's listening, you don't need other people's approval. If you love it, do it.
That's why I'm going to do gangster rap. I've got a.
Oh, good Lord.
Except you, don't do that.
Oh, I like her. I like her.
So, I like that one. You might be on the panel here starting next week. What's your availability on Tuesday night?
She's hired.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll pay you twice as much as I pay him. So,
Now you know who's going to be taking my spot.
Larry's taking your spot.
Oh, okay.
And I'm paying him 3 times as much as I'm paying you.
All right.
So we're giving out raises, man. Forget how the government's shut down. I'm throwing money out like crazy. Let's talk about.
I want a raise.
You just got double tonight.
I already gave
All right, I'll
you a
bring
raise.
another.
Thank you.
I'll bring another phone book for you to sit on.
Oh man, but find out about you. Facebook, Reverb Nation website. Do you have any of the above? I am without my computer in front of me right now, so I normally have your stuff pulled up, but I don't have anything pulled up. But you on Facebook or?
I'm on Facebook, and my children have set me up on Facebook.
Okay.
I can't remember how they've done it. I don't remember if it's Limbaugh Torres or just Cindy. It's CYNDI.
That's why I didn't find you the other night.
Just
That could be.
oops. Just look under Garth Brooks' page. She's probably there.
Yeah, I'm right there.
the people who made Garth
Connecting.
Brooks page.
Under his closest friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
All right.
I'm not a real techie person, and I really like kind of one-on-one, and I know I need to get better at that. Like, I keep showing up to writing things without business cards, like writers' nights, and I'm still using checks. I just pull off the numbers and give you the other.
Hey,
the
give me
top
a
part.
check too.
That's how I got it. She wrote it on the back of a check. Here you go.
Wow. That's cool. Do you play out quite a bit right now, or do you play anywhere out that people can come out and see you and support you, or are you kind of doing the songwriter thing?
Well, I've been playing at the Commodore
I love the
sometimes.
Commodore.
Yeah.
Yep. We're up there every Sunday night.
Oh, okay.
So get a Sunday night gig up there, and we'll put you on the air again.
Okay.
All
I'll
right.
try to do that.
We'll tell Debbie. Brian, tell Debbie. Oh, Brian.
Oh yeah.
We were number 200. 200 likes on Debbie Champion's Facebook page for the Debbie, if you're listening tonight, we were number 200 on Mark Irish Facebook. Number 200 likes for the grill, the Commodore Grill. Remember that? And you get a free $20 gift certificate.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're going to give that to you. So when you're up there, say, make sure you look up there because Mark won that, and he wants to give it to you. So, Debbie, if you're listening, thank you for allowing us to come up there on Sunday nights. Brian's up there every night, or every Sunday night from 6:30, and Brian goes until it ends. He used to go until the songwriter portion's over with, but he stays and does the open mic nights and gets everybody involved because, again, you don't know who's listening to us.
It's because
Usually
Debbie
by
does
the-
all the work. He just sits there and eats
Yeah.
the whole time. I've been there when he does it.
And you know what?
Yeah.
And none of us denies that either.
No, I don't deny it.
Debbie does such a good job with her mixing and stuff up there. We
She
plug into
does
her board.
great.
That's
Yeah.
my
Hey,
favorite
really
place to
great
play
person.
it because of
And
her.
I got to meet her mom this past Sunday.
Oh, did you?
I did.
That's
Super
cool.
sweet lady.
Well, what a
just like
surprise.
Debbie. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, was surprised.
Yeah, and we really love Debbie to death because she does what's her calling. She's out to try to promote
And she's got
songwriting.
an incredible memory.
Yeah.
If you meet her one time, she knows your name. The next time, no matter how many songwriters, and you know how many there is in Nashville, and she's met all of them, and
I
she
bet
can
there's
still
at least 10.
Probably. I think it's like 12 right now.
Okay.
But she knows everybody's name. I hadn't gone in there in a couple years, going there, and she's like, "Hey, James." I'm like, "That's pretty cool."
She thought you were a former waiter, though.
Yeah. I said, "I'll get you that table
She
cleared
couldn't
off
remember
for
the
you."
song. She remembered your name. Go,
Yeah.
Yeah, can you give me some more chips, please?
Because you did a good job on my yard last week.
No, Debbie's sweet, and again, we're up there every Sunday now. Well, Brian now is, because it's no lie, I'm NFL now, so I don't leave the house.
Yeah.
On
Me and
Sunday,
Debbie, you got you on our list.
Now, I know Debbie's probably mad at me, but I'm sitting on the couch on Sundays watching every TV, that has anything to do with NFL football. So once the Super Bowl is over with, I'll be out and about again. So, but again, every Sunday night, again, Brian starts normally around 6:30, ends till 10:30 at night. Check it out. You can listen to a bunch of great songwriters up there. So, Cindy, if you're up there, on a Sunday night, if it's football season, you'll see Brian. If it's out of football season, you'll see both of us up there. So I'm looking forward to get back there as soon as the Super Bowl's over with. Go Broncos. I just want to throw that out there. So, all right.
I think they're going.
I hope so. But we won't get into that. But so you do a lot of the songwriter stuff. You got a Facebook page, but you're not sure if it's under Limbaugh or Torres, so double check both versions.
Yeah.
So anyone now, do you have a schedule on there, like what you're doing or what's going on?
I'm not that advanced.
Okay. just big picture of Garth on there and said, "I made him what he is today." I bet you Garth will find you real fast going, "Excuse me."
No doubt.
Yeah. So
That might be a way of getting his attention.
you might get his,
There you go.
might get his phone number again, So, but that's cool. That's cool. Gentlemen, anything else you want to ask?
I just want to say, Cindy, it's been very great having you here. We really,
Yes.
really appreciated it. Really enjoyed it very much.
It's been nice. I really appreciate you having me.
You put up with us. That's saying something.
Enjoy your music tremendously.
Thank you.
Yes, very much.
We're going to let you, if you don't mind, pick your favorite song, your last song you like to do. Tell us a little bit about it. And then when we're done, if you don't mind, we're going to go ahead and close off the show. The people that are listening out there on the air, make sure you go to our Facebook, which is Facebook and /WFMC Jams. Miss Cindi Limbaugh has been taking pictures all night. You'll have pictures of Cindy on there. So make sure you take a look at that, comment it, like it, share it. Tell everybody you got to see her, and if you listen to the show tonight, make sure you comment on there and give her compliments and tell her how good she did. And then don't forget, about an hour after the show, we got cameras here. I think did one of them take a dive, or we got two views of this tonight, maybe 3 views.
We're good.
Okay, so we got all 3 camera angles tonight. So Larry got a good shot of you on there, I'm sure. But
I
make sure.
Excellent shot.
Remember the
About an hour after. And can they just pull it up on WFMC Jams under YouTube? Is that how it's going, Brian?
Yeah.
I couldn't find last week's show for like a day and a half.
Okay.
I
It's
found
there.
everybody else on there, but I couldn't find our last artist on there. But so it's under WFMC Jams. You can look under. How do you want to put your name on there? As Torres or Limbaugh?
If you could do both.
All right. Which one first?
We
Limbaugh.
charge by the letter.
Limbaugh.
Am I going to have to pay to be here? That's like Nashville.
Well, we didn't want to talk about that until after we.
Yeah, we'll
But
get
here-
we'll get to that.
Can you sign this here before you leave? Do you want it Limbaugh Torres? Or?
Yeah, that'd be
Okay,
good.
so Brian will put that down there so people can pull you up by the name. And people that are listening, go there and watch it in its entirety, and then make sure you put comments on there. What a great job she did. If you put comments on there that are absolutely stupid, we're going to strike you from the record, so don't worry about that. So only put good, positive stuff on there. It's what we're all about. So get
And
a chance.
when you see me, you'll know I look a lot more like a Limbaugh than I do a Torres.
Well, good. So let's do a song here real quick, and then as soon as you're done, then we're going to go ahead and I'll close the show, and then like we do with all the artists, we make you hang around a little bit, we punish you a little bit more, we take pictures, and we have you do an autograph, and then we'll let you go for the night.
Okay.
All right,
That
Cindy,
sounds
go ahead.
good.
What's the next song?
Well, before I go to my last song, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
It starts at 7. How come it's Midnight Madness?
Because when
Because we're crazy.
it's madness. We trying to come up. Remember I told you I'm not a songwriter. I have hard times coming up with names. So Brian and I, and I think my wife Cynthia and all of us, we were sitting there trying to figure out what to call this show. And it's got to be something creative and catchy.
At Mark's age, 7 o'clock is midnight.
Oh, contraire. You can ask my wife about 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll call you about 3 in the morning to see if you're still up. And don't tell me, well, I get up a lot earlier than you do. Yeah, well, we're still up in here at work by 9 o'clock. So yeah, there's not a lot of it getting up earlier. But we came up with this name, and I don't remember how we came up with it. Brian might have the question. But we just said the Midnight Madness Show. It just sounds so crazy, the Midnight Madness Show.
At 7.
But we didn't want to do it at midnight because no one's going to listen. So we said, well, we'll just do Midnight Madness at 7. And then really stress it to people. And you got to the point where people were going, well, it's not at midnight, right? Well, no. Well, it's at 7 o'clock. So, yeah. And they go, well, it makes no sense. And I go, what? Your Midnight Madness show's at 7 o'clock. I went, what's the name of it? And he goes, Midnight Madness. What time's it on? 7. There you are.
I got it.
Method to the madness right there. So
Well, that kind of
it caught on.
the midnight jamboree at one time was at 10 o'clock before.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that it kind of came out of accident, but then as we kind of let it just percolate a little bit, it kind of made sense in its own crazy way. So it stuck, and it's generating people listening to us. So at 7 o'clock, not midnight. We are going to do a Midnight Madness show down the road. Hint, hint, Jason. We are going to do a Midnight Madness show down the road where the kiddies will be in bed, and they'll no longer be like the Family Music Center Midnight Madness.
But you realize
it'd be.
If I'm doing remote, it's going to be 1 o'clock for me.
Oh, you'll probably still be here. This will be before you head out. But we're going to roast Jason. He just doesn't know it yet. If you've seen the Dean Martin roast.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. This.
And you know what's sad is I went back and looked at a lot of that on YouTube. I love the Dean Martin
Oh,
roast.
yes, they're hilarious.
And you know what? 90% of that stuff they say on there back in the late 70s, you could not say today on TV.
You're right.
You could not say what they
It
say
was a
today on
roast.
TV.
Yeah.
Have
Just
you
some
seen
of the comments.
the modern day roast are worse.
Well, the language is worse, but the subject matter that they would bring up in the old Dean Martin roast, what they talk about, you're like going, you know how many lawsuits would came out of that one right there? So, yeah, our country's changed a little bit, but that's a long way around answering your question. But yeah, it's kind of a mistake.
I bet you won't ask him any more questions.
That's my last question.
Yeah, sound like a few of our guests we've had. And they're 20 minutes later, you get the answer. Well, good.
Well, my last song is called North and South. And as I already told you, I was raised in the North, but my family was from the South. And this song, it was my story. And I just realized not too long ago, I've never written my story. So this is my story. And it's the last song my dad heard me play. My daddy left the family farm to get a job in a factory. Used his cousin's paperwork, 'cause that boy was only 17 and the North was a cold place to be. For a southern boy from Tennessee. Living in a boarding house, 4 to a bed and different shifts. Boundary was dark and dank. The money made all the difference, and the North was a cold place to be. For a southern boy from Tennessee. North and South, much the same, but different as can be. Full of hopes and heartaches in the dance of destiny. We all got a place where we come from. We all got a place we're at. North, South, East, West. The world's a cold place to hang your hat. I grew up on beans and greens in a common kind of Midwest town. Half the place was transplant billies, the other half tried to knock us down, and the North was a cold place to be. For a girl of a man from Tennessee. You might say I'm a dying breed, they don't go north for work no more. But
I mixed cash and haggard up with a Motown kind of rock and roll, and the North was a hard place to be for a girl of a man from Tennessee. North and South, much the same, but different as can be. Full of hopes and heartaches in the dance of destiny. We all got a place where we come from. We all got a place we're at. North, South, East, West. The world's a cold place to hang your hat. Made my move headed south on I-65 to find myself and make a better life. They only knew where I was from, they didn't know me. And I heard them whisper beneath their breath, another damn Yankee, another damn Yankee. And the South's a cold place to be for a girl of a man from Tennessee. North and South, much the same, but different as can be. Full of hopes and heartaches in the dance of destiny. We all got a place where we come from. We all got a place we're at. North, South, East, West. North, South, East, West. North, South, East, West. World's a cold place to hang your head.
Very nice.
Excellent. Kind of my theme song.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, kind of my. I have been called that several times about being a Yankee.
Me
with
too.
With that prefix. So more times than I. And my family's from down here. My mom's side of the family are from down here, but I'm a Yankee. I've been called that a couple of times. But we want to thank Cindi for coming down here, putting up with us for the last hour and 20 minutes or so. We appreciate that. Gentlemen, any last minute questions you'd like to ask her before we call it a night? That song there, Garth ought to do too. That'll make him another couple of dollars.
Yeah.
I could hear him sing that. That was really descriptive. I like that. Any last?
Just that I've enjoyed Cindi. She did a great job up here on the stage. And
Yes.
especially put up with us guys.
Put up with us. That's the hardest thing about it. Traffic and then putting up with us after you get here. But we want to thank you for coming down. People that are listening, make sure you get a chance. Now, you don't have any CDs out other than you're on other people's CDs that you wrote, but nothing in your own voice or anything yet.
No.
You need to get something. Those are great songs.
Yeah, they are.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I do have a MySpace, and you can listen to, but they're bluegrassy. But you can listen to some of my stuff on MySpace.
So you don't know anything about Facebook, but you got a MySpace.
My kids set it up. I'm just handicapped. I mean, when you're over a certain age.
Oh, I know the feeling. So yeah, so for her music currently, you can go on YouTube and watch this show and listen to her music on YouTube. Turn your computer speakers up and listen to her perform tonight's show. You can do that every single day, all day long if you want to. Listen to her over and over and over again. So, again, that website's going to be YouTube, and it's going to be WFMC Jams. So, no .com on that one. So, gentlemen, I'll close the show. I appreciate you all and your hard work, and want to thank Cindi again for coming down. We'll find you on Facebook and friend you, and with all these pictures, make sure we tag you. So, all the pictures that Miss Cindi Limbaugh put out there, we'll get out there and get on your Facebook, and people can tag on there. And we really do appreciate you coming down.
Thank you
If you
very
see
much.
Garth, tell him I said hey.
You too. If you see Garth, tell him I said,
Yeah.
I want your phone number.
The odds of me seeing Garth is probably slim to none. So I see him on TV all the time. But with that, I think we'll go ahead and close the show off. We got a good show coming up next week. Is it Mark Barnett?
Mark Barnett, yes.
Mark Barnett will be here with us next week. So with that, I will sign off. I am Mark, the DJ Doctor. We'll see you next week. Take care.